Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. This week we're one day later because I wanted to cover all of the stuff we got from Gundam Figures Live. And what really surprised me is that in the beginning of the broadcast, they said they weren't just going to do it in Japanese, but also in English and in Chinese. But the only thing in the broadcast that was in English and in Chinese was saying hi. So I guess that was referring to that. But anyways, the first announcement is one that we all saw coming because it was literally the main image of the broadcast. We're getting a new Strike Gundam robot Damashii, and it will be the first version anime figure that isn't from the Universal Century, which is also why they're calling this version anime from the new generations. And what we know so far is that it's slated for a September release. It will retail for 4,950 yen, 45 US. It comes with 2 Armor Schneider combat knives, a beam rifle, a shield, effect parts for both the Vulcans and the thrusters, and the main focus of this figure is on the articulation, which is going to be the big thing that sets it apart from the older Strike Gundam Robot Damashii figure. The new one will have much better waist movement, and the legs have something that I haven't seen in either a Gunpla or an action figure before. To better replicate the anime poses, it has an extra joint inside of the calves, as you can see right here, which will allow the legs to go slightly in and out. So that is definitely something really cool. And I wonder if we're now going to see that on more future action figures or maybe even model kits. Then it's also got better proportions than the old one, at least in my opinion. And as the name indicates, they do feel much closer to the anime. And then at the same time, we'll also be getting the Aile Striker pack for 3,850 yen, around 35 US. And for that money, we're not just getting the Aile Striker itself, but also some effect parts for the thrusters, the beam sabers, the beam rifle, and even an explosion to put on the shield. And they also immediately announced a grunt machine for this new version anime of the new generations lineup, the Ginn. For 7,408 yen, 65 US, this figure will be releasing 1 month later. As for the stuff it comes with, it's the same old, same old. The heavy saber, the heavy machine gun, the Partis triple missile launchers, and then because it's a version anime figure, it comes with some explosions and extra hands. Are they aware that the Ginn has more equipment, more weapons that is prominently featured in the anime? Because like every Gunpla we've gotten so far comes with this exact lineup. Like, is it that much to ask for to get a Ginn with a bazooka or like the beam launcher? Like, of all of the Ginns we've gotten, there was only one that came with the bazooka. So let's just hope that we'll be getting a future Gundam Seed weapon set to fix this issue that has been plaguing us like ever since the Ginn was first launched. Anyways, the craziest thing is that they also announced some of the machines that are currently being planned. Like the first 4 aren't going to surprise anyone. The Aegis, the Duel, the Buster, and the Blitz, because of course we were going to be getting those. But then they also showed the silhouettes of the Baku and the Zono, a machine that was not really a super big deal, but was quite a big deal. It was like not really a major antagonist, but it was piloted by a prominently featured antagonist, and it hasn't gotten any model kit, period. But then, after that, we got something even cooler, in my opinion again. Both the Ginn Recon type and the Desert type are currently in planning. 2 machines that I've wanted as a model kit ever since the first time I saw them in the anime. So now I'll just have to decide whether to get the version anime figures that they're planning or wait for the potential Bandai release that they'll be getting if Bandai sees that these figures sell well enough. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Then from the metal build lineup, they just showed off a bunch we already knew about, announced that the Hi-Nu Gundam will be getting a second production round with pre-order starting on March the 22nd, and that the Retrogonics will also be getting a second batch of pre-orders. And then they moved on to the new figures of the RX-93FF New Gundam, also known as the life-sized one in Fukuoka. Soon we'll be getting it as a super detailed Chogokin figure, probably with a matching price tag, and a slightly less detailed robot Damashii figure. More details coming soon as well for both of them. And then from the mainline UC, we also got a robot Damashii figure. The Zaku tank green macaque version, which you can get in August for 7,700 yen, 70 US, and pre-orders for this thing with its giant, fully movable claw arms open next week, Friday. Another machine that I would quite like to get as a Gunpla. But definitely something that I totally wasn't expecting. Then next up were 3 units that we're all getting in September and are all pre-orderable at the moment of recording. So I'll have those linked down below. For 8,140 yen, 70 US, there is the GPO-1 Full Burnian. For 6,600 yen, 60 US, the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type R1A Black Tristar version, which comes with parts and accessories for all 3 versions, and the Full Armored Gundam for also 6,600 yen, 60 US. And then finally, they got to Gundam.Info, where I thought they were showing off new metal builds that we're getting, but it turned out that what I was watching, well, what all of us were watching, was actually a promotional video for a new Gundam.Info anime, which then also serves as a giant promotional video for new metal builds. The air quotes, by the way, is because it's not really going to be an anime as such, it's going to be CG animated. I'll have the trailer linked down below if you want to go check it out for yourself. And so far, I don't want to say too much about the quality because they mostly show just animated cuts from the anime itself, like the Gundam.Info anime that we already got, and then they showed a few snippets of the new CG animated stuff, and it really was so short, and some scenes looked really good, some others were a bit like they weren't animated the best, so it's very difficult at the moment to give a solid opinion of what it's going to be like. But as you can probably tell from my voice, I am on the more concerned side because, again, it seems like the main goal of this thing is going to be to sell metal builds, and some scenes were quite But then again, when you look at something like Build Fighters, which was also basically a giant Gunpla commercial, that turned out really well, so there is definitely hope for this. And what we know about it so far is that it's going to be called Gundam.Info Revealed Chronicle. It is set in between the first and second seasons, and it will try to explain some of the gaps like the developments that led to the twin drive system. So, as a concept, it does sound interesting. Then what we don't know is when it's going to be releasing and how it's going to be releasing. The only thing they said on the how is that it's not going to be a full anime, but that still means that it could be a movie, an OVA, an ONA, or maybe even a short TV anime. And the last thing we of course already know are the first metal builds we'll be getting from this new series. There is the Gundam device Exia with the Proto GN Luster Sword as its main weapon and a new backpack that comes with sub-arms. It'll cost 22,000 yen, 200-ish US. Pre-orders open on April the 5th and it's currently slated for an October release. Then there's also the Gundam device Dynamis, which got shown off but didn't have any details revealed yet. And finally, they also teased the Curios and the Virtue Gundam. So, 00 fans, I think you guys and gals better start saving up, because if that anime actually turns out to be good, not only are there going to be a lot of metal builds coming your way, they also showed this thing in the trailer, but probably a lot of Gunpla and other merchandise too. And talking about Gunpla, we also got a new Gunpla announcement this week. The high-grade After Colony Shenlong Gundam. For 1,650 yen, 13 US, you can finally complete your lineup of original Gundam Wing Gundams in September. And despite being last, I do feel like they went above and beyond for the Shenlong. I can't be the only one who bought a Shenlong Gundam in the past, extended the right arm, and felt like it was longer in the anime. Well, they tried their best to remedy that with this figure by including arm extensions that make it look like the arm doesn't just fold out, but also extends. It's definitely the small touches that can sometimes make a big difference. I wasn't expecting to be impressed by the Shenlong, but here I am being impressed by it. And other than that, it's just usual accessories, a shield, a beam glaive, and 3 pairs of hands. And that is still not everything when it comes to new releases for this week, because SDW Heroes also had to join in on the fun with 4 new kits. In July, there is the Warlock Aegis Gundam for 880 yen, 8 US. In August, the Reifu Gundam GPO4 for also 880 yen, and the Shine Grasper Dragon for 770 yen, 7 US. And in September, the Chogokin Gundam Command Package for 1,100 yen, 9 US. And then from the Gundam figure front, at P Bandai, pre-orders open for the G-Frame Full Armor New Gundam and Sazabi optional part set. For 4,345 yen, around 35 US, you're getting 12 functional fin funnels, new Hyper Bazooka, Beam Saber parts, HWS parts, and a special base for the new Gundam, and Beam Sabers, a Beam Tomahawk, 6 closed funnels, 6 open funnels, and a special base for the Sazabi. Also included are 12 display arms for the funnels, and of course a piece of soda-flavored chewing gum. Currently, the set is scheduled for a July release. In the gaming news then, Gundam Extreme Boost Versus 2 is getting the N-Extreme Gundam Explosion and Xanadu added to its roster, with the other machines getting balanced, and Gundam Evolution released a new trailer showing off the main theme by Steve Aoki. I'll have it linked down below, and it is definitely worth checking out. It's really nicely composed, and at the end they also showed off the 2 newer machines, the Exia and the Marasai from Unicorn. Then, in other news, Gundam got some good PR at the 25th Japan Media Arts Festival, with the judges selecting both the moving RX-78 F00 and Hathaway's Flash as recommended works. Sunrise will be releasing the official setting material collection from Char's Counterattack, which will include some never-before-seen details. And we're getting yet another Gunpla Ichibankuji, this time focusing on Gundam 00. So far we know that the main prize is going to be the Master Grade Exia Solid Clear version. One of the runner-up prizes will be the SD X Standard 00 Gundam, also solid clear version, and the whole shebang will be released on June the 4th. As for the things we could get this week then, there was the SD Gundam Cross Silhouette Gundam Base Limited RX-78-2 Gundam Cross Silhouette Frame version Gundam Base Color. That was released on the 12th for 1,100 yen, 9 US, at, you guessed it, the Gundam Base. And one day earlier, they also resold some other limited edition items. The Master Grade Epion Gundam Special Coating version, the Master Grade Barb's Titanium Finish version, the Master Grade Unicorn Gundam Perfectibility, and the Master Grade Sazabi Virgin Katoki Special Coating version. And then today, the Gundam Base released standard releases of the Real Grade 00 Quanta Full Saber Trans Am Clear version for 3,740 yen, a little under 35 US, and the Master Grade RX-78-2 Gundam version 3.0 Gundam Base Color version. But make no mistake, these are still Gundam Base limited items. Also, as far as clear color versions go, I really do like the aesthetics of the 00 Quanta here. Kinda reminds me of like the last scene of the anime. And then to help you with your Gunpla building, Mr. Hobby released 2 new aqueous Gundam Seed colors for 253 yen a pop, 2 US, Freedom Gundam Blue and Justice Gundam Pink. Then, if figures are more your thing, Mobile Suit Ensemble 2 featuring the 00 Gundam, Banshee Destroy Mode, Jim, O-Riser, and Weapon Set reappeared in gacha machines across Japan for 500 yen a spin. And then for this week's reading material, you could get the Big Comic Superior, in which Gundam Thunderbolt is serialized, the weekly Big Comic Spirits, in which Gundam Bandiera is serialized, and the weekly Mobile Suit Bible, this time featuring the Serpent. And with that, it is already time to have a look at this week's Gundam apparel. Last week Friday, Bankore opened pre-orders for their second lineup of Gundam Seed full color t-shirts, featuring a black t-shirt for 3,850 yen, a little over 30 US, with either a Strike Gundam or Freedom Gundam image, and both are scheduled for an April release. From Cospa then, we got yet another MAFTI collection. Pre-orders opened last week Thursday, with the items shipping out in late May. But they will also go on sale at Anime Japan 2022 on March 26th and March 27th. You can get a black or red MAFTI t-shirt for 3,520 yen, 30 US, a white or sand khaki Mesa t-shirt for 3,190 yen, 25 US, a light gray or slate Gustav Karl t-shirt for also 3,190 yen, a black MAFTI zip-up hoodie for 6,380 yen, 55 US, black MAFTI shorts that are comfy and easy to wear, and yes, that is what the actual description says when freely translated. There is also a black or navy MAFTI Jimbei for 8,580 yen, 75 US, a charcoal Xi Gundam or Navy Penelope 2-way backpack for 4,290 yen, 35 US, a MAFTI water-resistant sticker for 550 yen, 5 US, a MAFTI insulated bottle holder for 3,190 yen, 25 US, a MAFTI towel for 3,080 yen, 25 US, and MAFTI Relax jeans for 8,580 yen, 75 US. And the relaxed jeans will not be sold at Anime Japan, but instead at the official Cospa store and gstore.com in late March. And then finally, from Strict G, we got the usual collaboration, this time with Goodwear, to create the Gundam Football t-shirt collection. And as the name indicates, this collection is inspired by American football. So for 9,680 yen, 85 US, there is a football long sleeve t-shirt in either white with Earth Federation Space Forces logo, green with Zeon Forces logo, or black with Red Comet logo. Then for 17,600 yen, 150 US, there is a jeans jacket in either blue with Earth Federation Space Forces logo or black with Red Comet logo. And finally, for 15,400 yen, 130 US, there's Earth Federation Space Forces chinos in beige or black, or Zeon Forces cargo pants in beige or green. And then let's wrap up this week's Gundam news with the currently ongoing poll from Gundam.Info. With the upcoming release of the Gundam Seed HD Remastered Complete Blu-ray set, they want to know which Strike Gundam we like best. Or, to be more precise, which one of the original Striker packs we like best. And currently in the lead, we have the Aile Strike Gundam with 524 votes. Something that probably won't surprise anyone, and honestly, from the options we've got, it's also my top favorite. But it is followed relatively closely by the Perfect Strike in second place with 384 votes. The Striker pack that made a huge, impressive entry was shown in the halfway footage and was even shown fighting against Roller Crusade in the intro. And was then promptly forgotten about because, damn it, making new HD animation is expensive. But anyways, we then have the battle for third place between the Sword Strike Gundam with 118 votes and the Launcher Strike with 95 votes, plus my vote, because even though the Aile strike is my favorite from the list, I wanted to vote for the launcher striker because I didn't want my second favorite to be in last place. Like, I'll never forget that fight in the desert. That was such an awesome scene. Also, I am kinda sad that they only included the striker packs that the vanilla strike actually used in the anime, because it would have been really interesting to see the other striker packs like the gun barrel striker, the lightning striker, or my personal favorite, the IWSP. But so be it. If you want to vote too, I'll have a link in the description down below, and that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.